Everybody, how's it going? So I want to do a little follow-up video on the kayak that I purchased this summer. And yes, unfortunately, I am now in the process of putting it away for the winter due to the weather here in central Ontario. There's some brave souls still out there, but not this person. I'm too much of a rookie myself. The temperatures are a little bit cooler than I would like to have for my days out there, and the wind is also picking up as well. So my fishing kayak season has finished for the year. So I thought, I would like to put a little video together to review the pros and cons of the kayak that I chose. And basically, I'm going to be honest with you, there really is no cons. It's all pros. I'm very pleased with making that decision and buying that particular kayak. So for those of you who haven't seen the first video, the day I picked it up, I purchased back in late June a Pelican Sentinel 100X angler kayak. And I had spent about 2 years looking at different models, makes, price ranges, etc., what would be suitable for me as an extreme novice in kayak fishing. And there was 3, maybe 4 main criteria that I had to have before I could consider making that purchase. One was, of course, the price. I didn't want to be spending thousands of dollars on something I might not use on a regular basis. Number 2, I didn't want it over 10 feet. So 10 foot, maybe 11, but 10 foot would really be the most I wanted to go because of where I need to store it. Number 3, the hull weight, the overall hull weight of the craft itself. Most of them run about 50 pounds empty. That's a recreational kayak. Fishing kayaks do run a lot heavier, but I needed something that I had to, that was light enough that I could actually manhandle it on my own without any assistance from anybody. Otherwise, there would be no point in making that purchase if I couldn't handle it by myself. So after going back and forth a number of times, I finally chose the Pelican Sentinel 100X angler kayak. I paid something $690. It came with a paddle. That was a special at that time. It's 10 feet in length and its whole weight is 44 pounds. So it met all 3 criteria. Now, notice I said angler kayak and not fishing kayak. That's because it's not a fishing kayak. What? An angler kayak is kind of a hybrid. It's a cross between a fishing kayak and a recreational kayak. Basically, it's a recreational kayak. It's got a few whistles and buzzers on it that allow you to fish more easier from. It'll have, in my case, it's got the above on top seating. It has the stadium seat. It has 2 flush mount fishing rod holders behind the seat. It has the Scotty tracks in front so you can add gear heads and stuff like that. But basically, as far as the stability goes, it is a recreational kayak. It's meant to be used in calm or flat water. Now, because of that, I found it a bit tippy. Though it's very stable, it's a good yak, don't get me wrong. I just found it a little bit unnerving when it was doing this. Plus the fact you got to remember, I'm brand new to the sport, so I haven't really found my center of balance. And also my center of balance and that is not what it was 30 or 40 years ago. It's a little bit different now. So I decided to put the stabilizers on it. And I got these stabilizers through Amazon, and they're made by Brocraft. And they are a very reputable company in the United States. And I like them because I didn't want those banana-shaped inflatable ones. I thought they looked a bit hokey. I also didn't feel very secure with those, but these are solid. They're a very solid piece of equipment, and they make the kayak or canoe very, very stable. Now, I wouldn't want to be standing in it, not me personally, but it does help me when I'm out there fishing. It does help me just relax a bit, and I'm not worrying about tipping one way or another. I have them set up so they're actually like stabilizers on a bicycle. They just kind of skim across the top of the water. And that's the other thing I liked about them, was that you can raise or lower them the height of them, so you can have them either right into the water as far as the hull will allow you to have, or just skimming across the top, which is what I do because it makes the kayak easier to paddle. Now, I had to affix the headgear into the hull to do that. And listen, guys, if you're going to do anything like that, you're going to put anything in the hull, do it properly. You will need to either get those ratchet pins or what they call a well nut, because you're drilling into the hull. You can't get up behind it like you can in a cockpit style kayak. You'll need something that's going to hold the screws in so they don't pop out. And the last thing you want is to have your screws pop out of your gear head while you've got your stabilizers on there. So going back to the stabilizers, these stabilizers are solid. They're not inflatable, which is I like that idea, having a solid stabilizer. They are a little bit expensive compared to the inflatable ones, those banana boat ones that you see all the time. They ran me about $230 Canadian to purchase them. And you can purchase them they come with the gear heads to put onto the hull so that you can fit them in. And they fit in very similar to Scotty headgear. They're very similar to that, but they're not quite the same. You can use Scotty gear, but it doesn't quite lock as well as if you're using the Brocraft gear. So I would use the correct gear if I was you, otherwise you might have a problem. So they just fit in and out of the gear head like you would your fishing rod holder or your camera mount or your coffee cup, that type of thing in the tracks. But I mounted them in the back of the boat, and that allows me to paddle a lot better than having them in the front, because then you can reach out and kind of paddle and you're not hitting anything. So I was really pleased with spending that money. That was well worth the $250. It makes it a lot more interesting and easier for me to use the kayak for fishing, because you're moving around a bit, twisting, and with my luck, I tipped the whole bloody thing over. So fortunately, I didn't do that this year. I am looking to do a couple of things next year. I want to get a better car rack system for the top of my car to transport it. I'm looking at getting a better cart. I really wasn't thrilled with the one I had. That type of thing. And basically maybe one or two other Scotty attachments. One of them is the bait table, so you can put your stuff, your baits and your tools in front of you. And hopefully, and a caution flag. I did acquire one of those. That's the orange flag that goes up behind you so that people on the water can see you. Because when you're out in the open in the water, you're just a little speck. You're very hard to see. And you've got a lot of jet skiers around here. So I did get the caution flag or safety flag. You should also carry a boating kit. Here in Ontario, it's mandatory. You must have the boating kit in your craft, even if it's a kayak, canoe, whatever it is. And that's the orange bucket that contains 15 feet of rope. It contains a flashlight, contains a whistle. The bucket can be used as a bailing bucket. It can be used to put things in to keep them dry. But you must have that on board with you when you're out in the water, just as you must be wearing your PFD. So, again, no regrets about purchasing that kayak. I really, really enjoy it. I got it out 10 times this year from when I got it. I got it out 2 days after I purchased it, and I've been going out in it whenever the weather has been conducive to taking out a kayak to fish, because you don't want to be blown about all over the place. So I got it out 10 times this year. So I consider it a huge success to have this piece of equipment. It's certainly opened up brand new fishing areas for me, and level of fishing that I hadn't experienced really before. And I'm really looking forward to next year to taking it out. And I hope you come along with me like you did this year. I want to thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the videos. I'm trying to work out some how-to videos for over the winter, because that seems to be more popular on this channel, is the how-to videos than the actual fishing videos. All right. So once again, guys, thanks a lot for being with me. Let's look forward to a good winter and to next year's saltwater season. All right. Bye-bye for now. Tight lines.